Last weekend, Avengers: Infinity War smashed box office records with a $640 million opening. People are obviously fascinated with superheroes, but what the world really needs are everyday heroes. Take a look.
Rodney Bullard is Vice President of Community Affairs at Chick-fil-A. And he believes we all have a hero inside of us waiting to make a difference.
We're all looking for this singular hero. We're looking for someone to come save the day. But quite frankly, I've learned in my experiences that the masses save the masses. Each and every one of us has a hero in us and has the ability to be someone else's hero.
In his new book, Heroes Wanted, Rodney shares simple and powerful ways we can offer our gifts to benefit others.
Well, please welcome to the 700 Club, Rodney Bullard. It's great to have you here.
It is great to be here, Terry. Thank you very much.
Hey, you've written a wonderful book called Heroes Wanted, but Lecrae, who wrote the foreword to your book, describes you as a pillar to the city of Atlanta and a personal inspiration. Where did you learn the importance of serving others? How did that happen for you?
Well, one, I appreciate Lecrae, and I hope to live up to that every day, and I strive to. I really learned about service and giving back from my parents. My father, a Baptist minister, my mother, an educator.
That'll do it.
That will do it. And every day, they drilled into me that this was not about me, that this was not about my education or my experience, but this was about giving back. And any education, any experience that I garnered along the way was to help somebody else, was to give back.
It's interesting you should work for Chick-fil-A because that is just kind of a known symbol of what they stand for.
Yes.
We talked in that introduction about the importance of everyday heroes. How do you describe a hero?
You know, we often think of a hero as this grandiose person. I have to be a millionaire, I have to be a billionaire, I have to be all these things that, quite frankly, you know, don't describe a hero.
Yeah.
I think a hero is anybody who decides to answer the conviction in their heart that something they see is wrong, something they see tears at them, and that they answer that call and they do something about it. It can be as small as a hello, a gesture. I was saying earlier that I had a first grade teacher who just poured into me.
Yeah.
And so when I had a difficult time reading, she poured into me. She was a hero for me.
Yeah. Life-changing, really.
Yes.
Because you would have seen yourself as less than if it hadn't been for that teacher who invested herself in you, and it changed your life. You know, I'm just wondering, as I was reading your book and as I was thinking about your growing up years and your history, who was your first personal hero? Was it the teacher?
Well, I think my mother and my father were my first personal heroes. My mother poured into me in every way she could.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And that's such a powerful thing to have a mother like that. And I'm blessed that God gave me her so early in life.
Amen.
But then I've had a number of heroes. I think about, for me, my personal life, I think about Hebrews 12 that talks about we're encompassed by a crowd of witnesses. And so I'm encompassed by this crowd of heroes, these people who have poured into me, but now watch, whether they be in heaven or whether they be here on earth, still watch, and I have an obligation to give a return on investment.
Yeah. Talk a little bit, if you will, about the social media campaign that you have in addition to the book that you've written. You really are on a personal journey to encourage people to embrace heroism in their own lives.
Absolutely. And so we want to be intentional with our social media campaign and really encourage people to use their 3 feet. There's a story in the book where one of my friends, Greg Ellison, a pastor and a pastor of divinity in Atlanta, he talks about his Aunt Dot, and his Aunt Dot said, you know, I don't know how you save the world, but I know you can impact your 3 feet every day. And so the campaign is to encourage us to walk in our daily self and to connect with other people, whether they be different, whether they be in pain, but to connect with other people.
The opportunities are there in that 3 feet around a circle, aren't they? Every day for people. You know, there are several people in the book that you talk about and tell their stories, but you also encourage us to think about this by giving us what you call the 9 C's of a heroic heart. Talk about that.
Yes. And so really the book at its core is a guidebook on how to be a hero, an aspiration, and something we have to work at daily. And the 9 C's are part of the guide and part of the pathway to being a hero. Calling and conviction are 2 of the C's that I often talk about. because I think about someone like Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was convicted by something that she saw was wrong in her time, in her day, in her age. And the only thing that she could do was just fail. The only thing she could do was stay seated.
Yeah.
And that's all she did. But it had such a ripple effect. But her name is
remembered throughout history for taking that step.
Yes.
Yeah. So really what you're talking about, in a sense, is living intentionally.
Yes.
With this idea in mind that every one of us has the chance to make a difference.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Where do you start?
I think you can start just by being a friend, just by saying, you know, what are the opportunities for you to be a friend to someone in need of friendship?
What do you want the takeaway to be? Heroes Wanted is the name of your book. Why the world needs you to live your heart out.
Yes. I would love for the takeaway to be that we all have the ability to be someone else's hero, but even more so, we have the responsibility to be someone else's hero.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a choice, really. I mean, I guess everything in life is a choice, but ought to be something we embrace because it is so needed in our world today. Well, I want to mention it again. Rodney's book is called Heroes Wanted, Why the World Needs You to Live Your Life Out. It's available wherever books are sold. He's living his life out loud in many ways. You can also hear more from Rodney on our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/700club. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love Chick-fil-A.
Thank you.
Awesome company.
Blessed to be with you.
Great to have you here.